FoodChain started in 2011 with a mission of forging links between the community and fresh food, with education and demonstrations of sustainable food systems across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The local nonprofit, located in Lexington, takes in produce and food from local farmers and restaurants. These ingredients are then used in educational opportunities for kids, seniors, and refugees, and food training programs. FoodChain also runs an in-house commercial-scaled aquaponics farm and teaching kitchen. In addition to their educational opportunities, the local nonprofit has been providing nutritious meals to the community for the past 4 years. In response to the spread of COVID-19, FoodChain recognized the need for affordable, healthy, and ready-to-eat meals faced by food-insecure families across the community. Nourish Lexington, powered by FoodChain, was launched in April to help address those needs. By preparing meals on-site and via satellite kitchens, Nourish Lexington was able to process leftover food from local restaurants, provide employment opportunities for out-of-work food service professionals, and support local farmers, whose primary market channels have been negatively impacted by the pandemic. In the first 3 months after its April launch, Nourish Lexington provided 100,000 meals to food-insecure families in Fayette County. Their goal is to provide at least 100,000 more by the end of the year. Behind the initiative is FoodChain Operations Manager Leandra Forman.
We had a national conversation with people who are connected to every aspect of the food industry and to food service, who are able to think through ways a pandemic-related shutdown could affect the food system as a whole. We knew we needed to spring into action. So we started reaching out to our contacts who we knew were connected to the communities that would be most immediately affected, including kids and seniors. And it snowballed from there. The Murry Foundation, Keeneland, and VisitLex immediately jumped on board, helping us fundraise to keep the meals going. And more people reached out with opportunities to both feed people and start to provide meaningful work for the restaurant workers who are furloughed and out of work. This allowed us to then not only employ restaurant workers in our kitchen providing the meals through our networks, but to start to create satellite kitchens where restaurants were able to go back to business in their own space providing meals for meal providers throughout the city.
One of these satellite kitchens is housed in downtown Lexington. Alfalfa restaurant opened in 1973, and its style of Kentucky classic home-cooked meals became part of the local culture. New co-owner Tiffany Bellfield El-Amin wanted to continue the restaurant's tradition of producing meals that felt home-cooked. She also wanted to find a way to put unused food from her kitchen into the hands of people in need throughout the community.
People knew when I got Alfalfa's that I was going to somehow partner with some type of community, nonprofit, local organization, some type of feeding program, because we do have leftovers. There is food waste that could be transitioned into an awesome full-course meal. So I used to volunteer a lot with Community Action, did some projects for Windburn Community Action, so I know some of the people there. And I've worked with some of the chefs, some of the people who are also in our local food system through FoodChain. So I reached out to Leandra and I was like, you guys still doing it? You guys still need people? You know it's gonna be healthy, it's gonna be local. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And that's really how it started. The mission of making sure that even though people might have incentives, people might have outlets to food, there's another outlet. And not only is it an outlet, it's not just a box of canned goods, it's a home-cooked meal, full course, local vegetables, you're getting all of the things that you need from the food pyramid. And that's the mission, like feeding people at an affordable price. People can't afford it, they should be able to get free food that tastes this good. And that's what Nourish let me do. They're like, just make it, Tiff. And I was like, okay. And I'd let them know, what I'm going to make. And I come back and they're like, that was good. Some of them I know where I have volunteered, and they're just like, that was good, Miss Tiffany. What are you making next week? And it's a quesadilla with yellow squash from the farm or some, butternut squash, onions and peppers and cheese, but it's packed full of, healthy stuff. So it's like the 1+1. It's like, we got the food, y'all got the people, let's make it work. So for the Nourish meals, we've contracted with over 25 different restaurants throughout Lexington, spending more than $400,000 in the local food economy, directly paying restaurants to keep their employees working in their kitchens.
A local catering company working to support the Nourish Lexington initiative is From the Heart Catering. With an idea of providing nourishing, healthy, and affordable meals to lower-income families, Angelia Drake started From the Heart Catering 3 years ago. She employs a 4-member all-female team, all of whom were able to stay employed and meet their hours thanks to the local catering company's partnership with FoodChain. But when the shutdown began, Angelia wasn't sure that would be the outcome.
Well, when it first happened, I didn't know how we were going to survive, and I had partnered with FoodChain before and helped do some other things, and so that's really helped a whole lot. That From the Heart has had employment and been able to still keep my team going. It's awesome because that was my heart's desire, and so now I'm walking in my passion because be partnering with FoodChain. I've been able to feed children. Lots of children get meals, lots of seniors, and people with disabilities. So it's a wonderful feeling.
These meals wouldn't be possible without the ingredients grown by farmers across the state. Ford Waterstrat runs Sustainable Harvest Farm, a certified organic farm in London, Kentucky. A first-generation farmer, he grows a diversified mixture of fruit and vegetable produce. Ford has been delivering produce to FoodChain for 3 seasons and continues to be supportive of the company's mission.
I love that people in Lexington that don't have access maybe to fresh fruits and vegetables and don't have maybe the means to purchase it are now getting fed fresh fruits and vegetables and a healthy meal that they're excited about eating, and it helps my farm business out because we can sell crops. And so it's just really cool to see people sometimes it'd be a struggle to get my kids to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, so knowing that people that really want it are able to get it is awesome. I think I first got interested in FoodChain selfishly because I knew they were going to do some processing of farm products, and I wanted to find someone closer to do processing of some of our like butternut squash and stuff like that. And then I think I met them 4 or 5 years ago when they were first starting that project, and then I just kept hearing more and more about what the work that they were doing, and found out that they needed produce, and it didn't have to be perfect produce. It could be misshapen or slightly damaged, and we always try to find a good home for produce, and fresh produce is sometimes can be hard to get in certain areas. So we were really glad to start. In the past it was kind of like we'd send them a bulk order of stuff that they could utilize throughout the process through the winter and then use in their feeding program throughout the season. But this year it was like, fresh stuff. They wanted fresh stuff as often as we could bring it, so that, she might ask for several hundred pounds of kale. And so don't really know what she did with it, but I know she kept asking for more, so she's feeding a lot of people. So it seemed like with COVID, the FoodChain had a lot more demand and a lot more opportunities to feed people that needed food. So it was really cool to partner up and get people good fresh food. And it's always amazing what Leandra what she pulls off, because she feeds a lot of people.
Since Nourish began, FoodChain has been able to take in so much of the produce that was grown for institutional markets and even direct-to-consumer sales, as well as a lot of the restaurant sales that folks thought that they would have contracts for this year. And we've been able to take that and turn that into meals. Nourish so far has put over $15,000 in direct farm spending. All of that represents money that's gone from FoodChain directly into the hand of a farmer.
One of the farmers who has benefited from the Nourish Lexington initiative is Thomas Sargent. A 4th-generation farmer, he operates Crooked Row Farm in Lexington and grows a variety of produce from asparagus to zucchini, as well as fruits and berries.
So we've worked with FoodChain for a couple of years now. Last year, mainly, we worked with FoodChain if we had seconds, we would sell them at a discounted price to them so they could process those into a different product or an added value product. Or if we had a bumper crop and had a bunch of extra produce, we would also sell to them. So our primary markets typically in 2019 were institutions, schools, wholesale accounts, and restaurants. 2020 has been a great difference. We lost all of our accounts pretty much overnight, and so we had to do a huge pivot because of the pandemic. And we went back to the roots and back to our community. This year we were approached early in the year by a private donor that really wanted to help us out and saw the struggle that we was going through with the pandemic. And one of the ways that he could do that was to do a donation through FoodChain that would support Crooked Row Farm. So he was able to donate to FoodChain, was able to write that off as a donation, and now FoodChain is able to buy our produce at full cost. Working with FoodChain has been an absolute pleasure for us this year. One, we actually get to impact our community and see it firsthand that our food is going directly where people really need to eat, and to know where their next meal is coming from. So the impact of that has been huge for us. As for the farm and the business, FoodChain with the private donation has been able to take care of one or two restaurants that we lost this year from the pandemic, so it's been a financial support there as well.
Fundraising to reach Nourish Lexington's year-end goal of providing at least 200,000 freshly prepared meals to those in need continues through December.
So we are asking our community, from the government to nonprofits to individuals, to come together and say that it is truly important that our food system is supporting farmers getting paid, restaurant workers continuing to be able to make food that we all love, and for those who are most in need in our community to be able to eat a hot, rich meal that keeps them and their children both healthy and fed.
Financial donations can be made directly to FoodChain through their website, foodchainlex.org. Or you can also subscribe to their newsletter or like and follow them on social media with the handle @FoodChainLex. Do you know someone in need of a free nutritious meal? FoodChain is open to anyone in need. Individually packaged meals in indigo containers are handed out directly to those facing food insecurity at FoodChain's front door every Monday through Friday evening at 5:30. Daily lunch is also provided for children up to the age of 18. Partner sites are set up to receive meals that are ready for distribution. FoodChain also operates 2 meal delivery systems along Lexington's East End and Woodhill neighborhoods. The goal of these systems is to deliver consistent, reliable, and made-from-scratch meals to people in need. If you or someone you know is in need of a free nutritious meal, call 859-428-8380. In addition to their phone number, questions about FoodChain can also be answered by their website, www.foodchainlex.org, or by emailing info@foodchainlex.org.